didn't disappear because I was angry. I disappeared because staying would have destroyed my dignity. I found a prenatal test hidden in our
I
mail.
didn't leave because I was angry. I left because staying would have cost me the last shred of dignity I had. For weeks, I'd felt like an intruder in my own home. Our conversations were stiff, like bad actors reading lines. Her affection felt scheduled. It was the little things at first. She'd laugh more at her phone than at any joke I made. I noticed it, of course, but I told myself I was just being insecure. People who trust deeply are masters at lying to themselves. The truth didn't crash into my life with a dramatic confession or a screaming match. No, it arrived quietly, inside a medical envelope she'd tried to hide under a stack of magazines. She was in the shower. I was just sorting the mail, or at least that's the story I told myself later when I replayed the scene in my head. Inside was a lab request form, prenatal testing, and right there, a box checked, paternity confirmation required. My heart didn't race. It slowed down in a way that felt deeply wrong, like a machine grinding to a halt. When she walked out of the bathroom, a towel around her shoulders, humming a little tune, I just held up the paper. My voice was steady. Why would a paternity test be needed? She didn't answer right away. She just sat down on the edge of the bed. That silence was louder than any confession could ever be. Finally, she whispered, "I didn't know how to tell you." I was scared. Scared of what? I asked, my voice still calm. That I'd find out? Then came the tears. She said it wasn't planned, that it was a mistake. She said it happened when we were feeling disconnected. As if a little emotional distance could somehow rewrite biology. A week later, the results came. Not mine. I read the email in my car, parked a couple of blocks away from the house I no longer recognized as home. It's strange, isn't it? How a few lines of text on a tiny screen can completely erase your entire future. When I went inside, I told her I needed time. What I didn't say was that I was planning on taking all of it from her forever. That night after she fell asleep, I packed one bag. Just clothes and my documents, nothing sentimental. I left my phone on the kitchen counter, walked out before the sun came up, and just disappeared. No note, no blocked numbers. I simply vanished. For months, I lived as a different man in a new city. A small apartment with a view of a river where nobody knew my story. The quiet was healing. I learned how to breathe again without feeling like I was being watched. I didn't check her social media. I didn't ask our mutual friends for updates. I treated the past like a door I'd locked and thrown away the key. 9 months went by. 9 quiet, stable months of rebuilding. Then one day, leaving a bookstore, I heard my name. Someone said it like they'd been saving it up for a moment of absolute desperation. I turned around. It was her. She looked different, thinner, older, and tired in a way that sleep can't fix. "I've been looking for you," she said. "Everywhere." I felt nothing, not anger, not satisfaction. Just a vast, empty distance. "You found me," I replied. "Now what?" She told me everything. How she'd searched hospitals and shelters, hired someone to find me. How she rehearsed what she would say 1,000 times. "I needed to explain," she pleaded. "I needed you to hear it from me." "I already heard it," I said softly. "Just not from your mouth." She cried, apologized, said being a mother had changed her, that she finally understood what she'd lost. I listened, not because I owed her anything, but out of a strange curiosity. I wanted to know what regret sounds like when it's far too late. When she finished, she looked at me with a sliver of hope in her eyes, waiting for me to give her permission to feel it. "There's nothing left," I said gently. "You didn't just break my trust. You rewrote our reality without my consent." She asked if I hated her. "No," I said, and I meant it. Hate requires attachment. That seemed to hurt her more than any anger could have. She asked if I would come back. I gave her a small, honest smile. "I didn't disappear to punish you," I said. "I disappeared to survive." I walked away and didn't look back. Some stories don't end with closure. They end with clarity. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is leave quietly and never have to explain yourself again. Thanks for listening.